Unstoppable champions appear in most activities in Destiny, including seasonal activities, lost sectors, nightfalls, dungeons, and raids. Hey there, I'm Jug. This is Cad. We're going to show you how to quickly and efficiently kill unstoppable champions.
Unstoppable champions are identified by a square symbol next to the health bar, like this, and they are pure aggro. Once an unstop sees you, it will charge you, and it will one-punch you back to orbit.
The first way to stop an unstoppable is to stun it with your weapon. This will require you to unlock an unstoppable perk from your seasonal artifact. Here, it's indicated by the open square.
Once you unlock this perk, any weapon that matches this type will be able to stun unstoppables. For example, in Season 20, we have unstoppable scout rifles, and later in the artifact, unstoppable glaives.
Seems simple, right? Wrong! When I hip-fire my scout, you can see that I am not stunning the champion. But when I aim down sights, after a few seconds, my gun begins to glow and my HUD displays that I have an unstoppable shot. Now when I shoot the champion, he's going to stun.
Stunning the unstoppable will freeze his movement and aggro. He cannot fire on you when stunned. Unload on him with heavy, special, grenades, give it everything. Just should bring him down, especially if you're hitting crits. But if he does recover from the stun before you've killed him, he will begin to glow like this. When he's glowing, he will be immune to the unstoppable shot and take very little damage. This brief immunity to being stunned lasts about 5 seconds.
Unlike barrier and overload champions, unstops cannot regenerate their health. So while he's immune, reposition to cover or put space between you and him. Once the glow fades, aim, shoot your unstoppable shot, and stick your shotgun in his mouth and say boom.
Wow, Jug, that's something. The second way to stun unstoppable champions is by using your abilities. The keywords here are Blind, Ignite, Shatter, and Suspend.
Blind is tied to the Arc subclass and gives you a variety of ways to play. Spoiler, all of them are dangerous.
Not really. It can be as simple as equipping a flashbang grenade. It will instantly blind an unstoppable.
I guess that's true. Spark of Beacons allows your Arc special weapons to create a blinding explosion when you get rapid kills. And Spark of Brilliance creates a blinding explosion when you defeat an enemy that's already blinded.
If you're playing Hunter, you can use the Lethal Current aspect. When you dodge, your next melee jolts and blinds the targets. Ignite is tied to the Solar subclass and involves building up Scorch stacks on the target until they ignite. That ignition is what you are seeing in the background gameplay.
Almost all grenades on Solar apply some Scorch. You can equip the fragments Ember of Ashes, Ember of Char, and Ember of Eruption to get that ignition easier and spread it.
On Hunter, throwing your Gunpowder Gamble Bomb and shooting it causes an instant ignition.
For Titans, using the Soul Invictus aspect allows our sunspots to scorch enemies. When we combine this with the Consecration aspect, we're able to slam on Unstoppables for the stun.
On Warlock, you can combine the Touch of Flame aspect with Fusion or Solar Grenades to create those ignitions quickly.
You can also equip certain exotics like Prometheus Lens, Sunshot, or Skyburner's Oath. While these don't have intrinsic Unstoppable, they do apply stacks of Scorch on their own. Or you can use weapons with the perk Incandescent. Shatter is tied to the Stasis subclass. Freezing a target is really easy. All of the stasis grenades have the ability to slow and then freeze targets. Once they're frozen, all you have to do is introduce them to your little friend. You know what I mean?
He's right. All of these stasis supers freeze your opponents and give you the ability to quickly shatter them. On Warlock, the Frost Pulse aspect allows your Rift to let out a freezing pulse, and the Bleak Watcher stasis turrets can slow and freeze unstops.
For Titans, you can equip the Diamond Lance aspect. When you defeat targets with stasis abilities or weapons, it spawns a stasis lance. You can throw it from a distance or slam it on the ground to freeze unstops instantly. You also have the Howl of the Storm aspect. When sliding, activate your powered melee to launch a wave of stasis energy forward that freezes opponents.
Hunters get the best aspect with Shatter Dive. Activate your melee mid-air to shatter frozen targets. Pair this with a stasis weapon with Chill Clip, and you can delete unstoppable champions. This leads us to our last keyword, Suspend. This keyword is tied to Strand.
At last! Titans are kings of suspension. Or like that buff, no-nonsense principal. You're suspended. You're suspended.
Yeah, but can you do this?
I really hate hunters. So technically, all the classes have access to the Shackle Bolt grenade that suspends targets, and technically, the hunters have the aspect Ensnaring Slam that allows them to slam down and suspend enemies. But we still have Dringer's Lash that shoots a suspending blast from our barricades.
And Warlocks have the Mind Spun Invocation aspect. Consume your Shackle Grenade and create a suspending detonation with your final blows. Pairs well with Osteostriga.
You couldn't let me have this one, could you?
The last way to stun Unstoppables is by equipping an exotic with Intrinsic Unstoppable. There are only 4 of these exotics currently in the game. 3 of the 4 are available to purchase from the Monument to Lost Lights. Our first is Bastion, a kinetic fusion rifle. The perk is Saint's Fist. Charge to fire 3 spreads of kinetic slugs. This medium-range monster is an expert at stunning and bringing down unstoppable champions, and it's available at the Monument to Lost Lights. Our second is Leviathan's Breath, a heavy bow. Perk is Big Game Hunter. Fires a massive heavy bolt that stuns unshielded combatants. If you're a lover of bows, this weapon is built to bring down big baddies in a very satisfying way.
Number 3 is Devil's Ruin, an energy sidearm. The perk is Close the Gap. Press and release to fire individual shots. Hold to charge up a high-powered stunning laser. Don't let this little guy fool you. This little sidearm packs as much punch as that cricket gun from Men in Black. When you charge the laser, you will delete foes. Ask PvP mains. They love to hate this thing. It's also available to purchase from the Monument to Lost Lights. The last weapon on our list is Malfeasance, a kinetic hand cannon. The perk is Explosive Shadow. Shoot tainted slugs that burrow into the enemy. Stacking enough slugs causes them all to explode. This hand cannon is the gift that keeps on giving. As you're doing damage to targets, they will explode and wipe out more targets, giving it 2 rolls in 1, Ad Clear, and Anti-Champion Specialist. It's available via an exotic quest that drops from Gambit.
Bonus tip here, if you're a hunter, pair Malfeasance with Lucky Pants and watch that Unstoppable melt faster than before. That's all the ways to stun unstoppable champions in Destiny 2. If this video helped you, leave us a like. If you want to see more guides in Destiny, hit that subscribe button.